When I was manifesting my specific person, I did not even realize that I was unknowingly using Neville Goddard's most famous technique, which is the ladder technique. If you guys have been in the manifestation community for long enough and have read enough of Neville's work, you know what I am talking about. The ladder technique was the most famous technique and the most talked about technique that Neville had explained in one of his conventions or workshops or whatever you call it that he held. So I'll give you a very dumbed down explanation of what this entire technique was, and you can later go in the internet and there are multiple stories explaining the technique. And yeah, you can do your own research. In the comment section below, I will also pin one of his most important quotation from that particular session or that conference, and why that quote is so relevant in specific person manifestation or any manifestation that we are talking about. I will be explaining that further in this video. So basically what Neville told his participants, he gave them a small exercise. He asked every participant who attended that conference to imagine climbing a ladder before they fall asleep, to just be in that imagination, in that fantasy. And then after they wake up, he asked all of these participants to write in notes that I will not climb a ladder, and be absolutely determined to be so in their most conscious state. So when their participants were awake, they were conscious, they were logical, they were in their skeptical mindset like we all humans are. But when they were going to sleep, they were falling off to that dreamy state, they were drifting off to that dreamy state where they were letting their imagination take charge of their brain, and they were imagining how the ladder looked, how many steps were there, and they were imagining themselves climb it. Neville also mentioned to completely forget about the technique after 3 days of doing this and let go, completely detach with it. Okay, so although they were affirming throughout the day that they are not going to climb a ladder, what eventually happened, their imagination, the technique that they did before going to bed was so strong. Ultimately, each and every participant had ended up climbing the ladder some way or the other. Please read the story in the internet or buy the books by Neville Goddard. It is given in very articulate ways. I have just said it for reference. Now I'm going to tell you how this is relevant to my specific person manifestation story. Hi, if you are new here, my name is Olivia and you are watching My 2 Cents. Here is where I talk about law of assumption, manifestation, and anything and everything that makes you the better version of yourself. So in today's story, I will give you one juicy update about my own specific person manifestation, which I rarely talk about. And I mostly talk about my success story in case of coaching sessions with my clients. And yeah, whoever is there on my Instagram and in my close friends, they can see that. So yeah, I don't talk about my specific person manifestation enough because I believe that is not the unbelievable manifestation that I need to talk about all the time. Something which I also want you all to understand, especially if you are manifesting an SP, you need to understand that it is not an impossible manifestation, and when it happens it is like unbelievable, surreal. No, love feels surreal, extremely enigmatic, all like a fairy tale. Yes, definitely, but do not think of it like that when you are manifesting your specific person, because what happens is that the moment you glorify the entire process in your head, then you create this position of a pedestal for your specific person and your dream relationship that you want to manifest, and that is why it takes so much time, and that is why this entire ladder technique is so relevant. Bill asked all his participants to completely forget about this technique of manifestation about 3 days. Do you understand what that means? Detaching and let go means being focused on the story that you are creating or that you want with your specific person. So for example, if you want the dream relationship with them, then that's it. No ifs and buts throughout the day. Just like these people constantly kept a check on their habits, constantly told themselves that they are not going to climb a ladder no matter what, you are also going to do the same. You're not going to check your phone for confirmation from your specific person to see whether they have confirmed your thoughts and texted you back. You see how the comparison lies here? And now I'll tell you my story. What happened was that we talked, there was an instant click, and I will give you my entire story soon. But this is the most important part of it, when we went into no contact because of both of our self-concepts. My self-concept was deteriorating, and so it got reflected to my specific person's self-concept. Again, thought transmission, watch my video on that. So what happened was that we went into no contact for 7 months, and I was extremely sad, bed rotting, whatever happens to a girl, right? It was happening, and I thought that, you know what, I will stop. And back then was the time when I had come to know about robotic affirmations. So I was like, okay, I will affirm and he will come back and whatever. But then I was like, no, I can't do this. I can't keep on affirming again and again and again for a boy. It is wasting my time. So I let go of the entire thing and I started moving on with my life. I started going out with other people. I started getting into new activities. Like I always wanted to swim, and I would swim and I would have fun. I would meet people. I would go on trips. So I was living my life, but there would be a stinging pain every time I would think of him, and I would feel very sad, and I would be like, oh, this is the only thing that I can't manifest. And after a point of time, I was so tired of this entire process of affirming and being obsessively thinking about it. What nobody tells you about specific person manifestation is that if you put too much importance to it, you are the one who gets obsessed with it, not them. So I was going through that epiphany where I realized and constantly told myself that I can't affirm for a boy to like me. I mean, I am more dignified than that, right? So I went on with my life, and gradually every time his thought would come, I would just sit in that shit. I would just think about it. I would be like, yeah, okay, I accept it. So again, that is another step towards conscious manifestation. You just need to accept. You cannot be embarrassed or try to resist the constant repetition your subconscious mind is trying to tell you. So in my case, although I was trying to move on and show that I'm fine, pull off this facade, my subconscious mind kept on telling me that yes, this guy is supposed to be in your life, so if you're missing him, accept it. So I was like, fine, subconscious, I'll just accept it and miss him. And then I would grieve, whatever, and then again I would go on about my day. Now again, going back to the ladder exercise, every night before bed, if thinking about him made me happy, I would just think about him. And yes, throughout the day, my conscious, skeptical, big pants girly would say, oh no, I am better than this. Just like the participants kept on writing in their notes, kept on affirming that, oh, I will not climb a ladder. And guess what happened? Thank God I was in no contact. And that is why I constantly tell my clients that it is completely okay to go no contact if your SP is not behaving their desired version should behave like. It is completely okay to detach and move on, because when you are in no contact, that is the best period to recreate the dream version of that relationship, the dream version of you, the dream version of that person. So I think it was almost like 5 or 6 months of me not accepting, and then the moment I accepted that, okay, this is the person I want to be with, and now I'm going to take this seriously, and now I am going to think about it every night before bed seriously. It just took me like 3 weeks. So 5 or 6 months of no contact, then only 3 to 4 weeks of conscious visualization, conscious affirmation, and just living my life. And that month was the most exciting month. I was doing my nails. I was just prepared. I was like, oh, when we start talking, I will be this beautiful version of me who is ready, who has healed from our past fights. And yeah, we can just start again from where we left. And guess what? When we broke no contact, he just confirmed whatever I was visualizing, and he said me the 3 words that I wanted to hear. And yeah, it happened last year in October 1st, 2024, and now we are together ever since, no turning back. And yeah, that is my specific person manifestation success story, just a part of it. And this story is important for you to remember. It doesn't matter how much you tell yourself that it is not going to happen, how much always get unsolicited advice from people who never believe in themselves and who will never let you believe in anything. So I also made sure that I only surround myself with people. I affirmed that everyone wants this. I imagine that everyone wants this more than me. I imagine my specific person wants this more than me, and he actually does. And at this point, we even discuss, bro, we don't know whether you manifested me or I manifested you, because that's how, again, thought transmission works and affirmation works and visualization works. When I was visualizing, I wanted to see both of us exactly the way I imagined us. Like, I would see us wanting this more than anything else. That's it. I would imagine him also wanting this more than I wanted, and it happened. So yeah, specific person manifestation is the easiest thing. Only you just need to have the control on yourself and not rely on what he is telling you at this moment. Because guess what? Whatever your fantasy is before bed, whatever your imagination tells you before bed, is the thing that finally comes true. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I offer one-on-one coaching if you want that. Honestly, my videos are supposed to help you. I offer 3 types of courses. Anyway, if you need guidance in the long term, or if you want to stay in touch and have unlimited conversations with me, I offer 3 types of courses. The specific person manifestation course, of course, the self-concept course, and a customizable course, which is manifest anything that you want. So yeah, that's all for today, and yeah, we'll meet again